Hey there! Today we're back after a bit of an absence to look at a life support mod, specifically Interstellar Flight Inc. Life Support. I chose this life support mod because it provides you a degree of realism without excess complexity. Having the life support mechanic in your game means you'll have to do things like resupply missions for manned stations that a real space program has to deal with. And this mod gives you that realism without adding the real life complexity of things like CO2 scrubbing or waste processing. That's why I think this mod is a great introduction into using life support with KSP. There are several other great life support mods available which provide varying degrees of complexity, but I've been using this mod for a couple years now, and for me it strikes a nice balance. So if you're thinking about adding the life support mechanic to your game, this is a great place to start. So let's jump in and have a look. Alright guys, so as you can see, we never did a CCAN install today, and that's because the metadata update for the 1.1.3 version of this life support mod has not been updated yet. So you'll have to install that manually, or I'm sure an updated metadata for CCAN will be available soon. So the first thing to draw your attention to as part of this mod is right here on the KSC view. You can see in the toolbar there is a little icon that looks a bit like a medical kit. That is your life support icon, and when you click that you get a status of every manned vehicle that you currently have flying. So there's the vessel name, where it's located, the number of crew, the life support units, and then what that translates into in terms of remaining life support. So obviously a single life support unit goes half as far if you have 2 Kerbals instead of 1 Kerbal. And when that life support runs out, your Kerbals die. So that's another thing. There's 2 components of this life support mod which I really love. The first is it's a single resource, the life support resource, and it sort of simulates everything all at once, so you don't have to worry about waste and CO2 buildup, etc. There's basically a life support resource, a single unit that gets used up until it expires, and when it expires your Kerbals actually will die. So it is a death life support system. Now, assuming you're not playing on the hardcore mode, your Kerbals will respawn anyway, but the point is, I like the impact of running out of life support having a very real consequence in your game. So in addition to the life support status icon in the toolbar, this mod also adds 2 simple parts to the game. So let's have a look at those in the vehicle assembly building. So both these parts are resource containers, and before I show those to you, I'll just pop a command module there. You'll find them under the utility tab, and here it is here. The first one we'll look at is the 2.5 meter support tank. As you can see, it holds 300 units of life support, so let's attach that on. It is it's quite nicely modeled, as you can see. I love the logo. And then the second one, actually I'm just going to stick another container on here. The second one is a radial attached life support tank which holds 15 life support, and so I'll just throw one on there. So again, interesting, nicely modeled with a little pipe showing there. The same logos. So again, that is going to be typically more useful for you while you're still using 1.25 meter parts. Once you're at the 2.5 meter vessels that you're typically launching, then the larger life support tank is going to fit in line a little nicer, give you a cleaner look to your vessel. Having said that, if it's going to be a short mission and you're not going to need all that life support, you can still use the smaller radial attached. And just to give you a sense of how big that is, if we look at a RCS radially attached tank, There you go. You can see it's actually a fair bit smaller than the radial attached RCS tank. So those are the only two parts. The life support tank that is 2.5 meters, you can see there's a seat inventory here because I have Kerbal attachment system, Kerbal inventory system, and that means obviously that you can put a Kerbal in here and it allows a Kerbal, I guess from a realism perspective, if you put this tank in line on your ship, it allows the Kerbal to actually pass through that. It's not a solid storage unit. So that's all I need to show you for parts. Let's get back out of here. Now the life support resource unit acts just like any other resource unit in the game. And maybe the best way to demonstrate that is to go to the tracking station, and we've got a couple ships here in orbit already. And what we'll do is we'll show you that indeed this resource can be transferred just like any other resource. So let's make sure that target is set. Make sure we're controlling from here. All right. I'm not the world's greatest docking pilot, so I may actually accelerate this in post editing if it takes me too long to get there. So again, if we look at the life support status, you can see the Alpha station, which is what we're approaching here now, only has 3.5 units left for 3 Kerbal, so they're within a day and a half of expiring. And our resupply ship, which is the one I'm trying to dock here right now, you can see I have a few radially attached life supports. And we're going to transfer those resource units into our space station. And there we have a docking maneuver. So as I said, just like any other time, you have your life support here, which is almost empty, only about 1% of the original life support. However, we do have life support pods here, so we can easily transfer the content of those life support into the other ship. And there you have it. So we just went from 1% to 10%. And if we check our life support status, you can see that we have now transferred the contents of that life support into the station Alpha. So that's about it for this video, guys. I know it seems like quite a short video, but I think that's a testament to how easily this mod integrates the life support mechanic into your game. As I said, gives you that additional realism without adding a ton of complexity. It's a nice little add-on to your game if you're ready for the additional challenge of life support. So have fun with this mod, guys. Try not to kill any of your Kerbals until I see you next time. Until then, we'll see you in the next episode. Take care.